that I had last winter in Maine called A Picture's Worth. I had conceived that the exhibition would feature likely 12 to 15 artists. I ultimately had 25, but I could have had 200 quite easily. Out of that experience, I realized this great need for place to show the work of these artists.
I think that Maine historically has been a mecca for artists and for creative people in many different fields. And this is a moment when photography has come into its own. Photography on all levels: film, video, new media, alternative media, conceptual work. The purpose of the Maine Museum of Photographic Arts is to be of the moment and celebrate the photographic contributions in the 21st century in a way that shows the world why photography matters, why the film arts matter.
To talk about it as a photographer and a teacher, I can see all sorts of ways that letting young people see innovative and new work in a vital medium like photography, they will learn about culture and the world and where we live and where they live. That's what the medium does. There's something innovative about the proposal and the plans and the ideas. It's new energy, it's something new in itself. And when I say an unusual form, I mean that in the best sense, that I think people respond to it being modern, contemporary. I think that embracing new media and new media practices will actually make it very widespread. Art making in general is something important in our culture, and artists need your support. Ideas like this, from the ground up, are exciting to support.
For a year, the three of us have been working with no money, and we're at a place now where we can't do it anymore. We need support. We need your help. Right now, we're asking the artists for an awful lot, and we'd like to be in a position where we're giving back to them and not asking for something in return. We're launching the website, and that's the most important part of this process. We're going to have a virtual museum where you can have access to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. To be sustainable, we need donations. So your $5, your $20, your $100 is going to help us get that done. We're not asking for a lot of money, but whatever whatever people can help us with will make a huge difference. We need small donations. We would take large donations. We have a bunch of people who are really excited about us. We hope that as soon as Kickstarter hits, that people are clicking on us and doing it. Very often you want to donate money or you want to give because you think something is such a great idea. If you can't do it, if you can't afford it at this time, please just help us by getting the word out. If you tell 5 friends and those 5 friends tell 5 friends, that's how it goes.
It opens people's eyes towards photography more so in the parallel with other mediums. I think it's going to create something very special to Maine, in Maine. I think any art should be promoted, but photography art and special, I think, is got to have its voice. And we really don't have one. And if we have one specific voice directed towards a public or a media, I think it's going to create something that's going to be coming from a place that has never come before. And I think having a central place like that is going to create a lot more activity, not only in Maine, but outside of Maine.
Well, I think the whole concept of bringing photography more to the view of people, particularly in Maine, but also around the country, is incredibly important. To have a museum dedicated to that in the state of Maine is like a dream come true for the artists and really also for the community. So I'm very, very hopeful that this will really take off. I've been sending emails out to people not only in Maine but around the country explaining how important the museum concept is to the state of Maine and actually to the country. And I think it's crucial that all of us in the art community really step up to the plate and really help promote this.
Long overdue because there are so many incredibly talented photographers in the state of Maine. This is long overdue.
I mean, it's important to support art in any standpoint. I think that, this is the voice of a community. This is what, translates stories and history and, generations of people and community. And I think that it's important to, have that represented here in Maine and for there to be a facility that houses that so that those artists can tell their stories. It's important to, just be a part of your community, give back to your community. If you love where you're from and you love, the art that's represented here, then this museum is by far where you should, give a little something. So.
We have a lot of other museums in Maine, but none that touch on photography like this one is going to. So I am tremendously excited to see this thing happening. Well, the unfortunate thing, or just the simple fact, is that it costs money to maintain a collection, to curate it, to house it, to insure it, to put together programs. So I hope that people will put in enough money that really, gives us the shot in the arm to get started. And I think that once it gets started, there'll be enough people who feel that they're stakeholders that it will continue.
This was the second time they've had a show here, second year in a row, and consistently, it seems to me, it's the highest number of quality photographers in one place, and it's great to come to one spot and see such a variety and have it all be top-notch work as well. I just think it's a great idea, and I'm really hopeful that it'll happen, that there'll be a permanent venue for great work. We need some money, $5, $10, whatever you can send in, it all adds up. And with the hope of always having a place you'll be able to go and see tremendous work.
All right, the thing that we really need to do is to thank you for your donation. We're thanking you ahead of time. We hope it's big. We hope it's huge.
Can't be big enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for just even watching our video. And we hope that we've drawn attention to Maine photographers and our efforts. And thank you for having the interest in our project.
Your efforts mean everything to us because your efforts will let us take form. Thank you.